Hold on to your hats. We're going to New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Ivan and today we are going to venture out to the capital of New Zealand's North Island, Wellington. Right now I'm on the plane and we're almost there, but for now we wait. We are just about to land in the beautiful city of Wellington, and as you can see, the view is quite extraordinary as we fly from the north.
Now a segment on rugby.
Here with the All Black superstar Kevin Mealamu to ask him some questions about the wonderful game of rugby. Hey, good, Kevin. Kevin, can you give us some quick facts about rugby?
Of course. It all originated in the early 1800s at rugby school, when a couple of guys were playing footy and an oddball decided to pick up the ball and start running with it.
Well, anyways, what is the main goal of rugby?
Score and tackle as many times as you physically can.
Okay, what are some of the traditions you and the All Blacks do?
Well, we perform our haka. Most New Zealand teams perform this dance. It's a dance traditional to my Maori people. It was done before a battle to intimidate other tribes. The All Blacks have been doing this since 1884. We take great pride in our haka because it is equivalent to listening to pump-up music or doing yoga. Except this kind of yoga is a little scarier.
Well, it was nice to have you, Kevin. I'll see you later on the rugby field.
Score and tackle.
Oh, God.
Woo!
Yeah.
As I walk down the streets of Wellington, you can tell how culture. Oh fuck, this is the wrong one. Just before we go to the main streets of Wellington, we pass by these homes located by the hills. It is quite a delight.
And now a segment on the art of New Zealand.
As I walk down the streets of Wellington, you can tell how cultural the town is by the many galleries. We shall visit one of them and talk to Michael Sass, an artist from New Zealand. Oh, there he is now!
Hello, mate. What a nice day it is.
Good.
Yes, I agree. So, can you tell me about your artwork?
I don't mean to big note myself, but it's pretty gross.
Yes, I totally understand what you're saying.
I retired in 1998, and I wanted to follow my dreams and become serious with art. I usually work with pastels, but other mediums as well. My artwork usually consists of landscapes and realism.
Interesting. So tell me, how is your life now as a famous artist?
Just ace, just ace. I was awarded Best Pastel Drawing twice at the Molly Morpeth Academy Awards, once in 2005 and once in 2007. But enough about me. How about we go and get some tucker and fill up our bellies?
I'm sorry, mate? That was my producer. He told me I have to go.
Hooroo!
Now a segment on the geography of New Zealand. And now a segment on New Zealand cuisine. My name is Nick Toltano, and I'm here to talk to you about New Zealand cuisine today. Now, what we have here is a very traditional New Zealand dish. It's just lamb. People in New Zealand eat lamb all the time. It's one of the most. It is the most farmed animal. Just they're small, they're easy to breed, and they produce a lot for the farmers and the economy. Now, this is the most basic preparation of lamb that we're going to do today. And that's just salt, pepper, a little garlic, a little seasoning. But New Zealand cuisine isn't always that simple because it has influences from the Pacific Rim, which is, Australia, islands around that, tropical. And it also was a British colony, so you see a lot of British influence in there, like tea, biscuits, meat pies, and fish and chips. And New Zealand prides itself on being a very sustainable and local market because it's an island, so you can't really trade that. So right here we have our lamb chops, and we're gonna start off by, first, these are a very, nice cut of meat. So what we're gonna do is, you don't have to add anything really, just a little bit of salt. Make sure you get there. Get the sides. Now, people in New Zealand, they can do a lot of different things because, it's a very tropical you know, good soil there, so they get a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, and it's basically like Britain in the Bahamas. So we're gonna do this. You got it nice and salted. Just get a little seasoning here, a little dusting, if you will. Good. A little black pepper, not too much. And now we're just gonna cut up our garlic. Just a real fine cut. This one. There we go. Alright, now I'm gonna come over here. So I come over here, put a little olive oil in this pan. Now people in New Zealand, they always like to fuse their olive oils with something. This is fused with a little preserved lemon, so it's gonna give it a nice little citrusy flavor. Make sure your pan's nice and hot. Let that sit for a little bit. When they start to brown up a little bit more, we're gonna throw the garlic in there, a little more olive oil, we'll be good to go. Brown up a little more. Well, they're going in the oven for about 15-20 minutes. So while the lamb's cooking up, let's talk a little bit more about New Zealand cuisine. Now, most people believe in this myth or this rumor that New Zealand is completely cut off from the rest of the world culinary-wise. Like, you know, just all farm recipes, you know, like villager stews and stuff like that. But actually, New Zealand is one of the more fine dining capitals of the world due to the tourism industry, and you know, it just being like a very busy like island. And they actually have a very large selection of fast food chains. They have like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, things like that. But they also have British like theme-based fast food restaurants. Like there's a restaurant just solely dedicated to meat pies. There's one that's just tea and biscuits, and you know, it's just a great, you know, it's almost like a melting pot, like America, of, you know, different types of cuisines, different techniques, styles, things like that. It's a truly amazing and unique place to explore and test out your culinary palate. Alright, now that our lamb's done, all we gotta do now is let it rest for 5 minutes, and what that means is we just let it sit there, absorb all the juices back in so it's nice and tender. Alright, now that we're done, put it on there like this, and voila! And now a segment on the Maori.
Kia ora. On today's segment, we will be focusing on a very special culture that is deeply rooted in New Zealand, the Maoris. We're going to have a talk with Aata Puanga, a man with Maori lineage from Northland.
Tana koto. I'm happy to be here. Stas, what would you like to know about my people?
Well, for starters, I don't think anyone knows what we just said to each other. Why don't you say some basics of the language?
Oh, of course. Well, the Maori alphabet is a little different from the English one. Our alphabet consists of the same 5 vowels, but we only have 8 consonants. They're equivalent to the English characters H, K, N, P, R, T, and W. The combination of NG makes the same sounds as English, but the combination WH makes the sound of an F. What we just said to each other, tenako and tenakotu, both are a way of greeting.
That was really good pronunciation. I'm glad we have a real Polynesian here to teach us. Something I've always wanted to know is a Maori legend. What's your favorite one?
Well, my favorite is the creation story. I like it because I love fishing. The North Island was fished up by the god Maui. He is sitting on his canoe, and he pulls up this giant of a fish, and the fish becomes North Island. The cool thing is, if you look at an aerial view of the North Island, it has an amazingly striking resemblance to a giant fish.
Wow, that really does look like a fish. Well, I'm sure everybody has learned a lot about the Maoris. Thank you. Hey, konera.
Kakite ano, Stasi.
Deuces.